Philip Valens was an American poet and Soto Zen Buddhist who emerged from the Beat movement in 20th century and is widely known for his ironic and innovative poetry. Being not only a major figure of the Beat generation, but also a significant poet in his own right, Valens is generally considered as one of the leading forces promoting the San Francisco poetry renaissance in mid-1950s and inspired many following generations of poets. Philip Valens was born on October 20, 1923 in Portland, Oregon to Glenn and Phyllis Valens. He belonged to a working-class family and grew up in Dallas, a small town on the Columbia River. From the airport until he returned to Portland in 1941. Shortly after graduating from high school, Valens was drafted into U.S. Army Air Corps, currently known as U.S. Air Force, and was trained to teach radio operation and maintenance. The position kept him out of state during World War II and allowed him enough free time to read and write. Thus, he was able to widen his experience with Asian literature and philosophy, an interest started in his high school years. Also, during his military service, Valens inspired the use of notebooks for jotting down his impressions and experimenting with scribbled bits of poetry. Following his service, he returned to college under the GI Bill and received his Bachelor of Arts at Reed College in 1951. This is also where he had the significant encounter with Gary Snyder, Leo Welch, and especially the well-known poet William Carlos Williams, who acknowledged Valens as a poet while at Reed on a literary tour. During this period, Valens was first introduced to Zen Buddhism. Between 1951 and 1955, Valens traveled frequently up and down the West Coast, staying with his friends and supporting himself with odd jobs. By working as a fire spotter in the Mount Baker National Forest, a remote and solitary location, Valens could dedicate a great deal of time for writing and add world material to his notebooks and journals. On October 13, 1955, a snide invitation, Valens joined the historic Sixth Gallery reading, making the launch of West Coast Beat into the public eye. Valens' poetry was soon published in the influential Evergreen Review and appeared in the 1955 Grove Press anthology, New American Poetry. 1960 witnessed the publication of two major Valens works, Like I Say and Memoirs of an Interglacial Age. As a writer living in the West during the Beat era, Valens certainly shared many of the concerns of other Beat writers, Zen Buddhism and other Asian religions. A concern for the environment, sexual freedom, experimental poetry, and the exploration of drugs. Valens' singular style and personality in his life, and more importantly in his poetry, were described by Paul Christensen in Dictionary of Literacy Biography in 1990s as a bawdy, honest, moody, complicated structure, a frenzy mid-century, an original traveler and thinker who refused to take himself too seriously during the Great Revival, a visionary lyric in American poetry. Mahijana, of the West Istar, but disappear in the process. The question of whence and whither have no validity here. Much is the mixture of earth and water. Imagine water as a heavenly element. Samsara and Nirvana are one. Flies in the amber, sand in salt, dirt and red algae in the ice. Farewell, how very delightful to see you here again. Using a grant from American Academy of Art and Letters to come to Kyoto, Japan, Valens spent 1966 and 1967 as an English teacher. There, he practiced dancing daily and continued to expand his considerable collection of poems. Following his journey to Japan, Valens moved into the San Francisco Zen Center and became a student of Zen-Tatsu Richard Baker in 1972. The following year, he became a monk and then the head monk of Dharma Sangha in Santa Fe, New Mexico in 1984. In 1991, he returned to San Francisco to lead the Hartford Street Zen Center until forced by ill health to retire. The final stage of his life was passed at a nursing home in San Francisco, supported by admirers in the overlapping community of Buddhism and poetry. Whalen passed away on June 26, 2002.